Hi everyone. Okay, so I got a video request on to make a video about how to make your own candles. Okay, so I've only done this a few times, and the method that I have chosen to use has been the recycling method. But you can also make your own wax out of beeswax, and just the wax that the bees make, the larvae inside of the honeycombs. If you have access to the bees, um, you would probably go to a bee farmer if you don't, and then ask for some wax, and then you can use their wax. But if you use it directly from the bee comb, there is a process you have to do to it, which is a bleaching and a purifying process, and that process I'm not familiar with because I do use the recycling method myself. I think that it's really an important thing for just kind of survival tips in general. If something were to happen, it would be a good idea for you to have certain things on hand, or even if the power goes out for a day or two, it's nice to have candles on hand. So anyways, what I've done in the past is I've gone to a thrift store, and I've tried to go on their days. Like Goodwill has tag sale days, and I usually try to go on one of their good tag sale days, or I go to a big warehouse that has like, fill up this bag for free, or garage sales. They sometimes have candles for super cheap. It'll be like, take them all, you know, they're no longer even usable. You can even ask your friends. Like if you have Facebook or something and you want to say, hey, I want to take everybody's old candles off their hands for them who has old candles. You take all the different old candles and you can actually heat up the wax inside. There's a few different methods of doing that. If it's like a deep candle and you have the wax at the very bottom, you can put it in a pan, like the candle, if it's in a glass, inside a pot of hot water that's been heated up to a boil and then let cool down from its boil on the stove, and it should help to like loosen it up around the edges, and then you can like you can ply it out of there. And then it's just a matter of basically using fire is what I usually do, is holding the wax, and you might eventually need to get, if you burn every bit of wax you have from the old candle wax, you might need to get some sort of a plier to hold the end of it at some point so you can get every last bit without burning your fingers, into a new container, which you can use again from Goodwill, recycled glass containers, or glass containers that are wide enough, lipped, so that you can get your hand into them, or small lipped, I guess, whatever shape of a candle you would like to make, into a new container that is glass and can withstand a lot of heat, not super thin glass. I saw something on here a while ago when I was trying to look up different ways of making candles, and somebody suggested if you wanted to color your wax and you just got a bunch of white candles, to use crayons. Okay, I do not suggest that. Don't do that. Crayon wax is toxic when it's burned. In fact, I do a lot of like wax paintings, and I use a lot of I buy crayons in bulk, and I burn crayons specifically to make dripping wax paintings. And I have to do it in a very well ventilated or outside environment, because when the crayons get to that heat and they're burning, the smell and the fumes coming off of them can make you pass out after a while. You do not want to burn down crayons to change your color for a candle, because it will get hot and let off a fume that it's not safe, and it's not good for the environment either. If you want to color your candles yourself, like I said, I usually just get whatever color I want to use from the store. I don't really care, because the candles I've made in the past have specifically been for the purpose of an emergency, so I don't really care what color they are. But if you're trying to do it for an art project, you should try to experiment with heating up the wax and keeping it hot in small amounts, and mixing in a drop of food coloring, which is usually really a safe thing to heat up anyways, and then mixing it with a popsicle stick or a little wood stick of some sort, even from your tree outside, mixing it up with something like that. Not something you want to save. Wax is hard to get off of things, or it can be. although they coat our apples in it, and then, you know, we can't necessarily scrub off all the wax in our apples and our fruit. Anyways, and then my other bit of advice would be, for the best place to get wicks would be eBay, that I've found so far, and I've been able to get really good deals during certain times of the year through certain vendors. But right now, when I checked on eBay, they run about 100 wicks for about $6, which includes shipping. So that's a really good deal. And the kind of wicks that you want to make sure to get, or I would suggest to get, would be the ones that are the Zinc core wicks. Zinc is a very safe thing. They make calamine lotion out of it, and also if you want to make your own sunscreens, zinc is a natural sun repellent, so you can actually get larger quantities of zinc, and then you can make your own suntan. That's another video. Your own sunscreen that isn't toxic. Anyways, you want to get the zinc cores so that they will burn brighter for longer, and I don't know if they're really hotter necessarily, but for what you would need in an emergency, it's a better deal. They're not going to burn super fast, they're going to maintain themselves, and they're going to be pretty bright. And those run about the same price. They might be a little bit more, but not much. You know, you get 100 of them for $6. I one time got 1,000 of them for like $10, so not a very expensive thing to get at all. I mean, you're looking at, if you go to Goodwill with today's prices, I don't know where you live or how your place is or your thrift stores are, but I mean, you're looking at spending less than $20 to make like 100 candles if you really knew where to look, if you asked your friends and you did a lot of recycling. I don't really know about the beeswax portion of that, but I'm sure that there are a lot of videos on YouTube on how to purify the wax that you get from the actual honeycombs from the bee nests. And I do know that one of the methods that somebody was explaining to me once was a bleach and purifying method. I don't really know if I like that idea because of the bleach burning, if there's bleach used in it, unless it's washed enough. I don't know if it's totally washed before you burn it, but burning bleach, even traces of it, doesn't sound very good to me. But my candles that I'm getting in recycling, they probably went through that process too. So, okay, well, I hope that this video was helpful to some of you guys that want to try your hand at candle making. And I also would suggest, if you are interested in candle making, to try to do some crayon art. That is a lot of fun. I will do a tutorial on that later, and when I do my crayon wax art tutorial, I will label it or whatever, and I will actually have it in front of me to show you. I don't have the candles here in front of me to show you. Well, I can grab one that I made not so long ago. Well, here's two of them that I made, and they're just in little dishes. This one's a little mason jar for canning and stuff, but they're way low now because I've been using them. This one has 2 wicks in the bottom. This one was actually kind of scented too, I liked that, and it's kind of a peachy pink color. But as you see, it was kind of a low candle. I did that because I wanted it to reflect off the glass and light more of the surrounding, which if you do that, if you want more light, sometimes that's a good idea to do. Case it in the glass around it. Make sure the lip is wide enough though. And then this is just a plate candle that I made at the time. Just 3 little wicks. I believe I just used some flat candles, or candle wax that I got. I could recycle all of this, but I still can use this one. The wicks are just fine, except for that one. That one just broke off. Anyway, I hope I helped you guys. I'm kind of flumbling about my words, but alright, bye.